example of what karma looks like. Hello, beautiful human. Welcome to the Capricorn Cross Watchers Only reading. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you're family, welcome back, my friend. I'm always trying to do something different and whatnot or whatever. If you are not familiar with what my Cross Watcher Only readings are, they are readings that I do for someone who is dating or entangled or in a situationship or something, you know, with a Capricorn person, and you're trying to get a little bit of insight into you guys' connection or relationship. However, I do find that through the grapevine being the comments, is that sometimes these readings have a tendency to resonate vice versa. And sometimes I could even be talking about your mama, brother, auntie, cousin, what have you, whatnot. But, you know, get in where you fit in, my friend. So anywho, let's go ahead and jump into these cards and see the energies that are going on between you and your Capricorn person for November 15th to December 15th, if I'm not mistaken. So first card that we have, interesting, the Hanged Man in the reverse, and that is Aquarius, Cancerian energy. I've heard some people say Pisces. Then we have the Four of Cups, and then we have the Six of Swords. So this is rather interesting, cross watcher person. So what it's looking like for you guys in reference to you guys' connection with the Hanged Man coming up in the reverse, coming in our present energy, what you guys are experiencing at present is more or less feeling out of control in the situation. It's feeling almost as if you're in limbo in the connection with your Capricorn person, not really knowing the future of the connection, where things are going. And I would say leading up to this present moment, it's almost been feeling like you guys were stagnated or in a stalemate with each other. However, I kind of get this vibe here that there's been an opportunity, and I think things between the two of you have been pretty clear since about the ending of October, that this wasn't going anywhere. And I have to stress this whole stuck in between type of energy, my cross watcher. It's almost as if the two of you have moved forward from a place that the two of you were in the past. There was no clarity in reference to how the two of you would move forward into the future. However, in the present, there was no time, energy, or effort that was put in the direction of going forward, if that makes sense. It's almost as if the relationship came to an impasse and no one really did anything about it. It's like, we're just going to sit here. However, with my cross watchers, it's feeling almost as if you guys are in a position of helplessness. But the thing I have to say is that you guys are in a lot more control in this connection than you perceive. There's this whole thing of feeling as if, and I've heard people say this before, like, you know, this person just won't let me leave. They won't let me move on with my life and things of the sort. And I can understand that within certain situations. I mean, God forbid if someone was holding you against your will, but it's almost like, you know, if the person, and I'm not even saying this in the sense of someone stalking you, like literally stalking you, but it's just kind of like, oh, you know, I broke up with them and I'm moving on with my life. And then like the person calls and it's like, you have the option to not answer or even to block the person, but it's seeing like, you know, they're always calling, trying to get back with me and they just won't let me move on type of vibe. Not necessarily saying that you guys are in that mindset, but it's the vibe that I feel. It's this thought of like feeling as if you're trapped or you're stuck in this connection, as if this person is preventing you from moving on. But with the Six of Swords that we have going forward, it's more or less saying that it's kind of being stuck in this liaison phase or this limbo phase with this person when it's very possible for you to walk away. And usually we have a tendency to be in situations like this when we really don't want to. So it's kind of, I can't say well, I mean, it would behoove you really to take personal accountability for that and to accept either that you want to be in the situation, you know what I mean? Even if it's not really going anywhere. Because that's pretty much the two options that I'm seeing here. It's pretty much my cross watcher is feeling as if they're stuck in this situation, but in real life, you're not. It's like logically, you could take actions to move forward, but I feel the only thing that's really keeping you stuck is the emotional side of it. But at the same time, there's a need to be honest with yourself of the fact that the reason why you're stuck in the situation is because you're not yet ready to move forward, if that's making sense. Because I don't know, it's like I get this vibe almost like my cross watcher, or you know, the Capricorn person, if it resonates that way, it would be like telling themselves or telling people like, I don't know where we are. I don't know where this is going. You know what I mean? And I don't know if we're still together or not. But it's kind of like if you and the person aren't communicating and there isn't any action towards moving forward, it's kind of one of those things where you already have your answer. So the Six of Swords is really saying is needing to come to that clarity and that truth, because the whole reason why things are so off kilter and things of the sort is because it's not taking your, you know, personal power and using it to actually move forward. It's saying like, I can't move forward because this person didn't tell me whether or not we're moving forward or not. I hope that makes sense. Going into your Capricorn person, the first card they have is the Wheel of Fortune. Whew, that's Jupiter energy. Then we have the Five of Swords in the reverse. And then the Six of Cups. Interesting that that's a 6 under a 6. So with your Capricorn person, it's more or less them coming out of a place of being an inner conflict. I do feel a hint of passive aggression with that as well. And seeing that under your Four of Cups, I would more or less say that it's almost as if they're going through something or were upset about something that you said or did, whether that's real or perceived. And it's more or less them not, it's almost like it's like psychological warfare. I said that with someone else. It's like psychological warfare in the sense where it's like one-upmanship type of games. So the vibe I get with this from the Capricorn person is it's almost as if it's like a conflict or this this limbo energy that my cross watchers are in. It's almost as if this was orchestrated by this person, but it's almost like a passive aggressive kind of move. So whatever it is that transpired between the two of you, this is almost like it comes off like a catchback type of thing. So their behavior or their strategy or whatever it is that they were doing leading up into the midpoint of November, it's almost as if that was orchestrated to put you guys in this position to where, you know, you're stuck, you don't know what's moving forward or how things are moving forward, and you being kind of stuck like this. The only thing is here, I feel on their behalf, there's going to be potentially some regret moving forward for them, because it's almost like, how can I say this? What's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to full on say like revenge, but it's really like catchback. It feels almost like a tit for tat type of thing. And I feel this person's idea, at least up until now, their whole idea of how this was going to work was more or less them being hurt or being in some sort of inner conflict, them externalizing it onto you to put you into a sense of conflict. And their idea was them moving forward, right? So it was almost like leaving you stuck in limbo so that they move forward. But once they do, it's almost as if they lose momentum, you know? And now, not now, but in the very near future, they're going to be looking back at this situation and almost like idealizing where you guys used to be, if that's making sense. And then more or less considering coming back to the situation. it's petty. I ain't gonna lie. It's very petty, but it's something I want to say with this Hanged Man and this Wheel of Fortune. I think if this energy back here that led us to this point, if this whole psychological warfare type of situation had not transpired, I think that the way that this would have moved forward would have been different. I think it would have been more of an empowering type of energy, because it feels like there was supposed to be or intended to be a shift in this connection anyway, like just energetically speaking. But it's with this that whole little passive aggression thing, that's what kind of turns stuff over. Because what it would look like if these two cards weren't in the reverse and I were to just go straight across, what it would look like is two people who are in a connection that is stagnated and is riddled with conflict. And it would have been like amicably coming to a place and realizing, you know what, this kind of isn't working. Like, I don't really see this going anywhere. And the two of you kind of moving forward, but more or less having an amicable, like adult kind of breakup, because it's, you know, the cross-watcher person is moving from the whole tumultuousness or whatever. And then it's like the Capricorn person would be able to look back at this with fond memories of, you know, this is a really great person. We had very great time together. That was very enjoyable. You know what I mean? It's like it was good while it lasted kind of deal, and kind of moving forward from there. But it was this whole little passive aggressive mind game type of thing that kind of upset the apple cart between the two of you, because where the Cancer, I'm saying Cancer, I guess, Freudian slip, where this cross-watcher person should be moving forward, right? It's like, it's the desire to move forward, but it's still being stuck in the past. So it's like being between a rock and a hard place in a sense. And it's like with the Capricorn person, it's more or less they stuck it to you and they're moving forward, but now they're going to end up in the same trapped energy that the cross-watcher person is in now, where they're going to be thinking about going backwards in the future, the same way that the cross-watcher is unsure about moving forward and desiring to go backwards, or just like being, you know, indecisive about the two. So it's almost like, if you were to think about it, like when people talk about like karma, right? This would be a more realistic cause and effect example of what karma looks like. You know what I mean? It's like when we make decisions to purposefully be passive aggressive or, you know, manipulative or whatever the case may be, it's like if we have malicious intent, even if it's not like to hurt or harm someone, even if the Capricorn person feels somehow hurt or harmed by my cross watcher, it's just the simple fact that they plant a seed of discord that now holds up this person. And it's like what they did to the cross watcher now comes back to them and is going to do to them the same thing they initially did to the cross watcher. And that's even if a person feels justified with it. You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, I don't know where you resonate, because the energy could flip-flop, but even if a person feels justified, that's just an example of how cause and effect works. Even if you feel you were right, you know what I'm saying, to ghost them or to leave them wondering what's going on. It's just the fact that once this person moves forward, it's like the catch-22 is that the Capricorn person is then changing places with them. So they're okay with moving forward. Then it's going to be like, maybe I shouldn't have left. I hope that makes sense. But that's interesting. I've never seen that manifest like that in cards. But that's why I always say, man, sometimes people, when you're hurt by someone, you want a person to get their karma. I get that. But truth of the matter is, I mean, we're always getting karma all day long for different decisions that we made. But I'm saying karma in the sense of cause and effect. It's just a consequence of choices that we made, whether for good or for bad. But anywho, we have the Two of Cups. We have the Four of Wands in the reverse. And then we have the Eight of Cups in the reverse. You got to be kidding me. So here's the deal. Going back to what I was saying about this energy before, with the Two of Cups here, how this was intended to move forward, right, was more or less in a more harmonious way. And like I was saying before, I don't want to, repeat myself and all of that, but or be like redundant, but the whole premise is here, much like how I said, how if these two cards, the Hangman in the reverse and the Five of Swords, were not in the reverse, this more or less would have been a cycle shift in this partnership between these two people, right? And if it would have started with this Two of Cups energy, like I said, an amicable, this isn't working out, we're not on the same page, how can we get on the same page type of deal. If this would have been influenced by this energy, same thing with this Four of Wands in the reverse, it would have been on more stable ground to where both people are understanding what's happening, what's going on, what the plan is, But with this whole little psychological warfare thing, that word sounds so robust, but with this whole little psychological warfare, passive aggressive, manipulative type of thing that happened, it was an opportunity for this to move forward balanced. But now with this Four of Wands, it's completely incongruent and unbalanced now, And like I say, coming into the middle of November, with my cross watcher person, it's more off kilter for you guys. However, with the Capricorn person, they're more even keel and feeling pretty positive right about now, but still going forward. Like I said, and I think this is so funny, I have no choice but to repeat myself because all of these cards are everything I said already. But with the Eight of Cups in the reverse, it's holding on to something that's no longer serving you. However, like I said, it's a switch of energy. My cross watchers, I see you guys moving forward. So I would say, because we're talking about the 15th of November up until the 15th of December, I would say by the midpoint of December, you guys are going to feel a sense of assurance and balance, and I think come to a place of acceptance of moving forward past this connection. But the only downside, I would say, and I would say even having clarity in reference to, it's almost having more of a positive perception of this situation, but also it's understanding where you got to this Hangman in reverse energy. And this is, like I said, the middle of December. So it's more or less having clarity of seeing, wow, I've been stuck ever since they stopped talking to me, or ever since, we had that argument, whatever. The only thing I was trying to do was to get us, to be on the same page and to get things back balanced. But it's seeing wow, they're still not balanced. I guess it is time for me to move forward. You know what I mean? And that's where you kind of come into this place of it was good while it lasted, fond memories of it, so on and so forth. The downside of this is, and then I can even align this to cross watcher with this wrapping up for you guys, what I'm talking about being the middle of December. I know between the 15th and the 16th of December, there's something going on with Jupiter. I forgot what it is, but I talked about it in October. It's more or less, because I even see with this blue moon energy for you guys here. In all of the readings for October, I talked about how this whole energetic shift portal type of thing is going on here, these epic life shifts and choices that people are making in alignment with their highest good, and that energy is kind of rounding about in November. But it's more or less your consolation gift, if you will, for all that you've been through comes whenever this Jupiter transit happens between the 15th and the 16th of December. So I feel with you guys moving forward and being on more of a stable ground, it's more or less being thankful for the lesson and the experience. But like I said, with this Capricorn person that we're talking about, the issue with them is you guys are having a transference of energy. The freedom that they're experiencing right now and the confidence that they're experiencing right now, knowing that they've put you in this conflicting energy, you know, they're changing places with you, energetically speaking, to where what you're feeling now, they're going to feel that going forward. You know, this is just so fascinating to me because I've never seen anything like this. But literally with the Wheel of Fortune in the center, your Capricorn is at the top of the wheel right now, proverbially speaking. You guys are at the bottom, but going towards the midpoint of December, the wheel is going to turn and you guys are going to be at the top and this person at the bottom. And it's more or less a cyclical kind of thing. But this is really fascinating to see this happen this way. That is so interesting. And I'm not saying it in the sense of like, ha, ha, ha. I feel the biggest lesson here is, cross watchers, not to necessarily, you know, get any type of gratification out of switching places with this person. I mean, you can if you want to. I can't tell you what to do. But I feel that this is an important lesson to apply to your life, just with everything, not just in relationships. It's, you know, understanding that everything that you put out into the universe is always going to come back to you, whether you're aware of it or not. And I think it's dope how this came out because it shows you in just very intricate kind of ways how this happens. It doesn't necessarily have to be, you know, the law of cause and effect or karma coming back where a person like loses, you know, their home and all their money and their job or anything like that. It's like, it's a cause and effect, match for match, vibration for vibration kind of thing. It's like you cause someone else, you know, confusion, conflict, and stagnancy. Then it comes back around to where you yourself now experience chaos, you know, conflict, and, you know, what have you, you know? So it's just kind of like a match for match type of thing. But you do get away with it for some time, because like I said, it's like I feel they feel very empowered at present, but it's just, you know, the catch-22 is that you give that vibe to someone else, you don't feel it, but then when they don't feel it anymore, then you do. So I hope that that makes sense. I hope I don't sound like I'm talking all over the place, but anywho, that has been your reading, cross watchers. I'm going over to Vimeo, Patreon, my website, and YouTube members to do you guys extended, where we are going to look at how your person of, oh wow, 3 of Cups in the reverse is at the bottom. And that's new moon energy. The new moon is today, between the 14th and the 15th. Wow, between the 14th and the 15th of November. And that's a Scorpio new moon, and it's talking about facing fears in reference to romantic partnerships. That's interesting. Okay, that was a side note, but anyway, we're gonna look at how the person thinks and feels about you at present. So if you're about that life, follow me over there. If not, I love your freaking face, and I will see you guys sooner than later, my friends.